Hello, Assalamu alaikum everyone. As I mentioned in my YouTube channel that I teach biology and my name is Zareen Rafiq. In the last video I have talked about one of the past paper from IGCSE and the question related to the photosynthesis or the transpiration, sorry. Now today I'm going to discuss cellular respiration, and cellular respiration, the first step is glycolysis. Here is one of the image that is there in the Edexcel board book, and there is another image that I will show you which is present in the Cambridge book. Okay, here is the Cambridge book review and this is the Edexcel board Edexcel textbook image. Now I'm going to begin with the glycolysis as the first series of the reaction, first step of the reaction. Let me explain you how glycolysis takes place. Okay, I'm going to make it again for you. Sorry. Okay, let's suppose this whole screen is the cytoplasm of the cell. Let's suppose this is the cytoplasm. This is the cytoplasm of the cell, and I'm not going to make any of the organelle like mitochondria, like nucleus, ribosome, ER or the RER. I'm not going to show you these all structures because we have to talk about only the reaction which takes place in the cytoplasm or the cytosol. In the cytoplasm, when glucose is there, when the glucose is uptaken by the cell, this is the 6-carbon compound, and this 6-carbon compound, let me make a structure for the 6-carbon. Let's suppose carbon number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. The first step of glycolysis which takes place in the cytoplasm, the first step is known as investment phase. In the investment phase, as you know that when you start a business, to gain the profit, you need to invest something. As we need to produce ATP, for the production of ATP, you have to invest ATP. So how many ATP we are going to invest? That is total 2 number of ATP we are going to invest, and we will see how many ATP will be harvested. Anyways, the first step is investment phase, in which 1 ATP is going to get attached at carbon number 6 of glucose. This is known as glucose this is known as glucose 6-phosphate. Glucose 6-phosphate, because phosphate it attaches at carbon number 6. Phosphate is here. After this reaction, there is another reaction, and that is the configurational changes, and we call it as isomerization. Isomerization means there is a change in the glucose. Glucose is going to be converted into fructose. As you know that the molecular formula for glucose and fructose is same, only in the structure. It means there is the structural changes takes place, and this is converted into fructose 6-phosphate. When this isomerization is completed, there is another phosphorylation takes place, and that is, we call it as fructose 1,6 biphosphate. What is fructose 1,6 biphosphate? Represents what? If fructose, as you know that molecular formula is same, it means carbon number remains same, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 carbon. At carbon number, let me do it with the black pen to represent phosphate group. Phosphate is here, phosphate is here at carbon number 1 and carbon number 6. That's why it is known as 1,6 biphosphate. Here we have completed investment. We have twice or 2 ATP has been used. Where, let me count, this is the first ATP has been used here, this is another number 2 ATP has been used. So 2 ATP so far has been used. Investment phase is completed. After investment phase, if I'm going to explain you what is gonna be happen in the next phase, let me expand my diagram, or you can say that this is also taking place in the cytoplasm. It remains in the cytoplasm. Now here is one thing which happens, and what is that? This fructose is going to convert it into, or this fructose 1,6 phosphate is going to be split. That's why its name is splitting phase. In the splitting phase, 3 carbon and 3 carbon means, you can also say that triose. Okay, this is also triose. The name for the A levels students, no need to remember, but I'm going to write it here. This is dihydroxyacetone, and this is glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate. No need to remember, I have just mentioned for your knowledge only. Remember one more thing here, this is convertible, I mean the glyceraldehyde, dihydroxyacetone, they can be converted into each other, but your reaction continued with this triose, which is the glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate. And later on, dihydroxyacetone is going to be converted into glyceraldehyde, and the reaction continued. Now look at here, this is the 3C, splitting phase is completed. The last phase, that is known as, let me select green color for you, and that is known as harvesting phase. Now here we are going to harvest ATP, harvesting phase. In the harvesting phase, what we are going to harvest? We are harvesting ATP. Just in both of the stream, Cambridge or in Edexcel, there is no need to remember the name of the product. They use only one term, that is the intermediate, right? So I'm going to write intermediate here. Intermediate, what is intermediate? They are unstable compound. Sooner they are going to convert into another compound, intermediate. But final product, I will write it here, final product for you. The final product that I'm going to write it with the black pen to make it a different, okay, and that is known as pyruvate. Pyruvate is also a 3-carbon compound. So number of carbon retain, the number of carbon remains same. But what happens during these phase? Here is the 2 ATPs are formed. 2 ATP are formed. 2 ATP we harvested here in the harvesting phase. But you must be thinking that why we invested, as I told you that we invested 2 ATP, right? And we are harvesting 2 ATP. Sorry, I forgot to mention T. Anyway, so 2 ATP is we are going to harvest, and 2 ATP we have invested. So you must be thinking that there is no net result. I mean, there is no profit, no gain. You must be thinking about it. No profit, no loss. So why we are doing, why it's happening, remember that this is the result from one triose. We have another triose here. This is, what is that triose? The triose is dihydroxyacetone. When the dihydroxyacetone converts into glyceraldehyde, again the reaction will take place the same way and 2 more ATP are produced. So finally we have produced only from one glycolytic pathway, which is glycolysis. 4 ATP we have produced. This is the 4 ATP is the total number of ATPs produced, total ATP. But if I'm going to subtract 2 ATP, the investment part, so what is the profit? The profit is 2 ATP, right? And one more thing, here is the NAD is also NADH is also be produced. Now what is the next reaction? What happened next? What is the next? What happened with pyruvate? Let me show you one more thing. This is the image I have taken from the Edexcel book. Okay, if you see, this is Edexcel book image, you will see that only they have showed only ATP investment. Here is the investment. Okay, investment they have shown. And what is this? This is only they have showed two trioses are formed. It means the splitting phase. Splitting is here. And here is the harvesting, means production of ATP, which is the harvesting. Now they are showing harvesting, for example, 2 times 3C, means there are the two trioses. And this is the production from one triose. It means one more time ATP will be produced. If I am saying reduced NAD is produced from one triose, one more time reduced NAD will be produced. This is the book image from Edexcel. If I am going to show you the Cambridge book image, this is the overall view of the Cambridge book. But remember one thing here. This is the chemical names, but which is not the part of your syllabus, so I'm not going to talk about it. Alright, sorry, I forgot to write NADH. So 2 NADH overall, this is not from one triose. From one triose we are having is equal to 2 ATP. But since we have two trioses, so altogether we have 4 ATP, okay, and 2 NADH. We will make energy budget. We will make the table of energy budget. Okay, let's suppose here is the glycolysis I am writing, glycolysis, number of ATP, number of NADH and FADH. Okay, 4 ATP, 2 NAD, there is no FAD. Then I will explain you link reaction, and third I will explain you Krebs cycle, and finally electron transport chain. To understand this energy budget, you have to watch my another video, inshallah. Watch another video. Next video I will continue it, inshallah, and I will explain you how it is going to take place. Thank you so much for your time.